Good morning and welcome. It is Thursday, the 12th of May. I am Flat Cap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. Alright, coming up today, we've actually got a normal staking day. I thought it might be a little bit lower, and I've done a few more singles because I've got some big prices in today. So, yeah, I've made it up to a full £20 stake. That's coming up. We'll do the review of yesterday and then we'll have a quick word on the golf that has got started. Alright, just a quick few flags. If you are new to this channel, we are high risk, high reward is what we're aiming for here. We lose more days than we win. We are currently on a bit of a rough patch, it would be fair to say. So we're down for the week, and over the last 10 days, we're £66 down in the last 10 days is what I've got it. So going back to the 1st of May was the last kind of, we had a good day 1st of May, and then we've had a couple of profitable ones, but not big enough. So we are on a little bit of a losing run. We are profitable overall on the channel. All of my profit and loss statistics are all in the description. Everything on this channel is free. There is no extras. There's no PayPal. There's no Telegram. It's just me having a chat, telling you what I'm doing. These are all real bets. They're all going through a real Skybet account. That's what it is. It is what it is. There's no conspiracy theories here to be had. There's no scams going on. It's just a guy who makes profit from horse racing, sharing what he does. But clearly we don't win every day. And that's the gig. And most of you get that. So we're good. All right. What have we got? Review. So review. Yeah, just not a good one yesterday. It was 20 on. I got it a 7-12 back, a 12.88 loss. So the main bet was really disappointing. None of those horses made the frame or really got close to the frame. The Gorham Park ones are really interesting. All three ran up with the pace, and I was thinking, oh, this could be all right. And all three faded. So clearly, up with the pace on the inside rail at Gorham Park yesterday was not where you wanted to be. So really, really disappointing that was. I thought that was a fairly solid bet. And then we had bet two. We started off Oxwich Bay, just completely messed up the last fence when it was going to win clearly at 8-1. Therefore, it was second. So we got a place. Kenford Swan Song was a bit disappointing. Morningside held on for fourth, so that was placed. And then Dan Gunn was a late non-runner. So two places and a non-runner. So that was the most money back off any bets, but it still was a losing bet. And then bet three, Gareth placed. Most bookies did pay that out, I think, for fourth. But then nothing else came off on that bet, and Canor was a non-runner. I put a replacement in, that didn't run very well. So overall, not a good day yesterday. We move on. We're here with Thursday. Statistically, the most profitable day for the channel is today. Thursdays have been our best day. Is it going to be today? Don't know. It's a risky one. I'm going risky today, so I'm not going to put any guarantees on, as I ever do. Ever do, never do. Guarantees, no guarantees on this channel. But guarantees that we're going to keep doing it. Bet one. This is my main bet in terms of monies. So what have we got? We've got two at York there. So these are my first two at York. 150 York Fine Wine. And 3 o'clock York Cruyff Turn, both 9-1, and you'll see there's an additional double, each way double on those two York ones. Sky are both 5 places on those races. Then we're going to go Ashcar for leg 3 in the 5:35 at Clonmel. That's come in. So I put a few horses up last night on the review just to keep an eye on for prices. Ashcar was one that was 33s last night, so 22s today. And then 6:20, we're going for the unlikely race, Encore, which we have backed a few times on this channel before, 9-2. So I've done it as a 25p each way, lucky 15. We've got the additional double on the two Yorks, and then we've got an additional single on Ashcar. So I'm doing quite a few additional singles today on some of these bigger prices. That is main bet and bet one. Okay, bet two. This is the risky Miniski bet, we'll call it. So these three I put up last night on the review, and not really much has happened in the prices, which I'm a little surprised about. All of these horses are what I would say are overpriced, but if you actually look at the race, they are likely to finish 1 or 2 places out of the placings. That's where they should finish. So these are having a bit of a punt that something else underperforms, and these do a little bit better than they think. So not another one. It's a decent enough size field. I think the top three look like the right top three, but there's a question mark against all three, I think. So that they all could underperform. This one looks like it could be improving, and I think the market's just underestimated a little bit. So I'm going to go with it today. It's 80 to 1 on Sky Bet. Most other bookies are 100 when I looked before the video. But Sky Bet have gone 4 places on this race. So if you're a Sky Bet customer, it looks like the best place to put a single bet on at 80 to 1 at the moment. So they've gone 4 on that race. I was still going to have it in if they weren't. But it's an interesting move they've done on that one. Then we've got the 4:45 York Tantalus, unraced horse. Mostly unraced horses in that race. I just think because it's come from a small stable, it's Ben Haslam, it's overlooked a little bit. But breeding wise, if you go on both sides, dam and sire, it's decent. On the dam side, not so good first time out. On the sire side, better first time out. So we'll take a chance at Tantalus. And then Solcombe, it's the second best horse of 7 in form, but 2 of them in there look absolutely primed to go well first time out. So there's a real taking a chance here, but 50 to 1 in a 7-runner race against unraced horses, it's worth a little go. So all of these, on a different day, I could have put one of them in a lucky 15. So we're just going to chance our arm here on a Trixie, but this is so unlikely. This is more than likely. This is £4 chucking in the wind. But it's worth a go because these come in enough times that they're worth a go in the long run, but it's really hard to try and land them in the same bet. So as a single bet, they are probably a more viable option. So I've done it as a Trixie, and I've done them as 340p each way singles. So we are rolling the dice on those 3 today. And then we've got the third bet, which is the other lucky 15 I've done, which is lower stake. And again, it's got some risk in there. So we've got the 3:55 Perth Beano, 28 to 1. There's some back form enough that says if that horse recaptures it will be competitive enough. Then I'm going the 4:16 at Longchamp. So we're going over to France. As a Group 3, only 6 runners. Mr. D, and my French is probably worse than my Gaelic. Porchignac, 9 to 2. And then we've got the 4:25 Perth Father's Advice, 10 to 1. And then 4:55 Clonmel. I mentioned this one last night in the review as well. It's nibbled in a little bit. Look, don't touch, 28 to 1. I've done that, and it looks a funny amount, but it rounds up. 17 pence each way, lucky 15. And then we've got 2 pence each way singles on the bigger prices. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. That is what I've got. It's a high risk day again, and most of the time when it's high risk, that means low reward. But there's a little bit of a chance it might come off. We'll see. We'll go with that. Golf. Word on the golf. We've only had 2 golfers get going. Decent enough start. So as I talk to you now, Nacho Elvira, who's in our lucky 15 for top Spanish player, on 2 under through 10 holes, tied for 11th. And Jeff Winther, 2 under through 13 holes, tied for 11th, and we've got him in the standard market. So 2 golfers, 2 decent starts so far. Let's hope that maintains. That is what I've got. You enjoy your day. These bets are there for you to take or leave, but I am giving you all sorts of health warnings. These are high risk days. So these are hard, particularly the accumulator is hard to pull off today. So it's very, very likely it's a lost day today. And I don't want to kind of dress it up as anything else, but I feel like it's worth spinning the dice. So that's what we're doing. All right. See you in the morning. Thanks very much for your time. As always, it's been a pleasure.